Hello, I'm Charles Vanderpool, the editor-in-chief of the Apostolic Bible Polyglot translator, and this is our second seminar. This seminar is on the text source, or the source text of the Apostolic Bible Polyglot. I guess I'll have to go back to the beginning of when I began the process of translating. It was in 1979 when I rededicated my life to the Lord, and I started going to a large Bible church down in Southern California that went through the Old and New Testament consecutively. One of the things I noticed, though, is all the people that were walking around had different Bibles. The King James, the New King James, the American Standard Edition, the Jerusalem Bible, and quite a few. And I always knew that from earlier days that Greek was the basis for the New Testament. So I decided to see what it really was in the Greek and do some studies. So I went out and I picked up a Bible, interlinear Bible by James Riker Berry that was put together in 1897. It's an interlinear and somewhat like the Apostolic Bible, and here's a picture of it. You can see that Greek is on the middle line, the English on the bottom, and above is the number, the Strong's number. The original, Berry's original in 1897 didn't have the numbers. They were added later. So as I was reading this, I decided to learn Greek, and I began typing the Greek out again on a daisy wheel typewriter. This is before the computer, and as I began doing that, I found another book that to me is a number one book that anybody should have in their library. It's a misnomer. It's called The General Introduction to the Bible by Giesler and Nix. Here it is right here, and in the chapters it goes through inspiration of the Bible, canonization of the Bible, transmission of the Bible, and so forth. And it goes into the manuscripts and then in the printed editions and how the Bible was written, what it was written with. And as I got more and more into the Greek, I became interested in the Greek Old Testament. I found out that there was such a thing. It's called the Septuagint. And I went out and looked for it in the bookstore. It was hard to find, but I found Brenton's 1844 edition, which was reprinted, and I purchased it. And it's mine is sort of shop-worn right here. You can see, and inside it's not an interlinear, as you can see, but it's a side-by-side. You have the Greek on one column and the English on the other. Well, that doesn't help very much if you really don't know Greek, because you don't know which word goes with which. And then I realized, well, there's no interlinear of the Greek Old Testament. There was a interlinear of the Hebrew Old Testament. Then I picked up another book by H.B. Sweet called The Introduction to the Old Testament in Greek, and it was printed in 1902. And this book goes into detail on the Greek Old Testament, and I found out that Brenton's 1844 edition was based on the 1587 Vatican Codex B, and this Codex B is a very old unsealed codex. That's it in capital letters, and so that was what I had to type, and I began typing the Septuagint, the Old Testament. And with Sweet's book, I found out about two other earlier editions than the Brenton Vatican Codex B, and that was the 1518 Aldine edition and the 1517 Complutensian Polyglot. But before I go into those, at that time I started translating. The computer came into existence, and also the internet a little bit later. And I also was able to acquire a 1709 Lambert Bose Septuagint that was printed in Franeker, Holland, and has a fantastic footnote section on every page. And here's the 1709 edition.